Hi, this is Dory, and I'm Mena. We travel with our lovely dog Fiona to discover the most beautiful locations, and our goal is to share with you what it's like to live as a nomad. So thanks for following, and welcome to our channel. Hey guys, today we're in Lisbon and we're at Time Out Market, which could be compared to Faneuil Hall in Boston. There's lots of restaurants and there's a market where you can buy fish, fruits, vegetables, and little souvenirs and gifts. It's all around a great stop, one of the top 10 in Lisbon. So let's go check it out. On this side of the market, you have your fruits, veggies, meats, fish, anything that you could think of to make a beautiful home-cooked meal. In the center here, you have kind of gift shops, flowers, wine, that kind of thing. And then on this far side over here, there's like so many restaurants. They have donuts that are this big, just beautiful, beautiful things that are gonna make your mouth water. The first stop on our list is Time Out Market, a must-see if you're in Lisbon. This spot is great to kill a few cravings or to complete your shopping list. If you're not sure what to eat, you're in luck. There are tons of little restaurants around the spot. Around peak hours though, it's very difficult to find seating and the lineups will be long. If you're on a budget, you could find the Prato do Dia, which is the plate of the day, which is about 10 euros and comes with an entree and a drink. Otherwise, regular plates average around 12 to 15 euros. Bon appétit! So that was the famous Lisbon trams. If you haven't been on one, you've got to try it. The famous one here is 28 because it takes you all through Alfama and the historical area. We did do it. It was a little crowded when we were on it, which isn't ideal. You kind of want to be sitting down so you can see everything that is going on around you. What was really fun is actually it goes underneath an arch, and that's the arch right there that it goes through. So that's just one of the fun historical features that you're going to see when you're riding Tram 28, and that is definitely in the top 10 list for Lisbon. If you're planning on taking Tram 28, avoid peak hours. That is, early morning when everyone goes to work or around the afternoon when everyone is coming home. It will be crowded and you will have to stand up. Also, be careful of pickpockets. You'll see several signs on the tram about pickpockets. Tickets are 3 euros for a single trip. It may be purchased from the driver, however, most passengers use prepaid cards, including tourists that buy the Lisboa card. It's recommended for the free ride it offers and to avoid having to get a new ticket each time you board. Another one is the Bica Funicular. It's a tram that is also an elevator, so it takes you up this famous street, and this street is known to be the most beautiful street in Lisbon. We're gonna first go check out the bottom part of the funicular, and this funicular connects Rua de São Paulo with Calçado de Coimbra, Rua de Loreto. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. So that's the base of the funicular, but we want to walk the path. There's a staircase right beside the base of it, so if you don't want to ride it, I believe it's around 5 euros. If you don't want to pay that, that's fine. You could just walk alongside the track. And these stairs are to the right of the base of the funicular, so you can get some nice photos along the way.
Elevador da Bica. Rua da Bica de Duarte Belo is Lisbon's most photographed street. Not because you catch a little bit of the river in your frame, but also because of its charming funicular. Inaugurated in 1892, this yellow funicular takes tourists and commuters between the Cais do Sodre district in the waterfront and the neighborhood of Beiro Alto, at the top of the hill. It carries up to 23 passengers and completes its journey in less than 5 minutes. At the bottom of the hill, it departs from a covered station, while at the top, it's used as a backdrop for tourist selfies. It departs every 15 minutes, starting at 7 a.m. on weekdays and Saturdays, and at 9 a.m. on Sundays. The last departure is at 9 p.m. throughout the week. Tickets to ride the Bika funicular can be bought on board from the driver. They're €380 and allow 2 trips, up the hill and back down, or down and then back up, on the same day. Those who purchase a 24-hour public transportation card can ride it for free. That's the Viagem card that's purchased at the metro station for €645. Tourists who acquire the Lisboa card also may ride this and other funiculars, as well as all public transportation in Lisbon for free. The Lisboa card is a better deal than the Viva Viagem since it can be bought for 24, 48, or 72-hour periods and includes free or reduced admission to most of the tourist attractions.
So this elevator, guys, was built in 1902, and just the detailing is gonna blow your minds.
The elevator de Santa Justa is one of the truly unique tourist attractions of Lisbon. This 19th century industrial age marvel transports passengers up 45 meters from the Baixa district to the Largo do Carmo. The elevator de Santa Justa dates from an era when raw iron was not just a construction material but also an elegant art form. Historically, the elevator de Santa Justa was an invaluable part of Lisbon's public transport network. But today, it's primarily a tourist attraction and one of the highlights of the Baixa district. Being a popular tourist attraction, there can be long queues, and the return fare is excessively pricey, €5.30. The elevator Santa Justa is open every day between 7:30 in the morning and 11 o'clock at night. The viewing platform is open from 9 in the morning to 11 o'clock at night, summer, or 9 in the morning to 9 o'clock at night, winter, and the admission is $1.50. The lower entrance to the elevator de Santa Justa is just off the Rua Augusta Street, while the upper entrance is from the Largo do Carmo, which crosses a 25-meter walkway. The elevator de Santa Justa is technically part of the public transport network of Lisbon. This means that a ride on the lift is included on the 24-hour public transport ticket, which can be purchased at any metro station for €6.40. For a more pleasurable tourist experience, we always recommend riding the lift either early or late in the day to avoid the peak hours from 10 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon. The viewing platform at the top of the elevator de Santa Justa is one of the most romantic locations in Lisbon, especially when visiting at night. The viewpoint may not be the highest of Lisbon, but it provides unrevealed views of the Baixa district up to the Castelo de São Jorge, along with many outstanding photo opportunities. The viewing platform is reached via a narrow spiral staircase.
Up there you see St. George Castle, or Castelo São Jorge. That was built by Dom Afonso Henrique, who was a count at that time, because Portugal at that time was a county in the Moorish Empire. Now, what he did to gain more power is he conquered this area from the Moors and made himself king. And the Moors had conquered it from the Visigoths, and the Visigoths had conquered it from the Romans, and so on. So that castle right there was built around 1137, and Portugal was founded at that time.
The Castelo São Jorge stands majestically above Lisbon, and it's one of the finest tourist attractions in the city. For visitors, the Castelo São Jorge is a fascinating tourist attraction. and this in part due to major restoration performed in the 1940s. The restoration may not be historically accurate, but it certainly enhances the visitor experience and provides you with a lot to discover within the complex. The adult admission fee for the Castel St. George is €10 and students is €5. This does make the Castel one of the most expensive tourist attractions in Lisbon, but entrance fee is worth it. A typical visit will last between an hour to an hour and a half. If you consider the price too high or the ticket queues too long, you can still see the Arco do Castelo, the statue of St. George, and Santa Cruz do Castelo Church for free, as they are outside the Castelo. If you're planning on visiting the Castelo, I strongly recommend you go early in the morning. The lineups tend to build very fast. You could also buy the tickets online. This might speed up the process when you're on the entrance. Another great tip, once you get inside the Castelo, visit the ruins inside, leave the garden for last.
Right there, there's a metro, and I gotta be honest with you guys, the metro system here is super efficient. Very quick, very modern, and very clean. So, do not fret. Moving around Lisbon is very easy. Also, most Uber rides will run you about €5 to €7 in town.
Praça do Comércio is the most magnificent plaza in Lisbon and one of the highlights of the city. This grand plaza is surrounded on three sides by distinctive yellow style building, with the southern side facing out over the Tejo. The Praça do Comércio reflected the wealth and ambition of Portugal during the late 18th century. It was here that captains and merchants would plan sea voyages to Brazil, India, and South Asia and then trade their goods on returning. The plaza was also the location of that King Carlos I and his son Luís Filipe were assassinated in 1909, which ultimately led to the fall of the Portuguese monarchy in 1910. As a visitor, there is a lot to see and do within the Praça do Comércio. The plaza also boasts a number of fine restaurants, including Lisbon's oldest restaurant, the Martinho de Arcada, which dates from 1782. The Praça do Comércio is always a hive of activity, with tourist sightseeing, locals rushing for trams, and shoppers browsing the market stalls. During your stay in Lisbon, you will be passing through the Praça do Comércio on numerous occasions, and fortunately, the plaza will never cease to impress. The Arco da Rua Augusta spans the entrance of the Praça do Comércio with the Rua Augusta, the main pedestrian shopping street in Lisbon. The Arco da Rua Augusta was constructed much later than the rest of the Praça do Comércio, only being finished in 1875, almost a century after the original plans were drawn up. At the top of the arch there is a viewing platform. The entrance fee is $2.50 and is one of the best viewpoints in central Lisbon. Unfortunately, we did not do it. Being one of the most famous locations in Lisbon, the Praça do Comércio is filled with fancy tourist restaurants and high-class establishments. The Praça do Comércio is a major transport hub with public transport routes all over Lisbon. The only issue is that netting is very centralized and you will find yourself wandering across the plaza many times.
This last stop closes out our list. We really hope you found the video informative. If you did, please be sure to give us a thumbs up.